What's up, everybody? This is Terminator Juice, and welcome to the Juice is Loose, episode 16. Today we're going to be giving our Hyrule Warriors impressions. None of us have beaten the game yet, but we'll give you our impressions from where we're at in the game. I got a list of things I want to go over, get everyone's take on the game, and then Derek's going to ask us some questions after that because he has yet to play the game, so he's interested in hearing some things about it, so he picked out some questions and we'll go through that. But first, let's talk about Mario Kart 8. Had a tournament again on Wednesday. Had another good turnout, 27 people. That was up from the week before. So it seems like we're not getting people are sticking with it after the Bayonetta 2 giveaway. So just want to thank everybody for staying with the tournament. It's been good competition, and I'm on a little bit of a roll lately. I've been doing a lot better. But I'm going to go over the results, and then we're going to have a little discussion because a couple people in this podcast didn't do as well as usual. So I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to go from 20th up to first. Jeff got 20th. Brownie, 19th. Dark Fox, who usually finishes higher, got 18th. Then Mike, New World Order, got 17th. We had RPG Mario 64 at 16th. Andrew at 15th. ASAP Rel with his lowest performance, his worst performance in a tournament, I believe. In 14th, 109 points. That definitely was a big drop for you. Red Knight only got you by 1 point. He was at 13th. His boy Fat Stacks finally finished ahead of him. Slade was 11th. Then Toby, who I've never seen race in the tournament before. Then there was a Dre, who I didn't recognize, in 9th. Harden 25 got 8th. Wheels Pig, nice 7th place. He's been doing better. Zen Gamer got 6th. Then Dre, that I know, Andre Walker, got 5th. Mega Gamer got 4th at 161 points, and T-Juice got 3rd at 162 points. I was pretty proud of beating Zen and Mega Gamer in the same tournament, and they were all in the same lobby with us, so I was very, very happy with that. TLH 14 got 2nd, 181 points, and then Titanium got 208 points. I heard he did race a few races in a small lobby. I guess he started late, so you know, it's just the way it goes. TLH 14, same thing. She had 2 or 3 races with six racers. So, I mean, that's just the way it goes. But I feel like in the lobby we're in, to get 162 points is probably my proudest moment so far in Mario Kart 8. It was a tough time for you guys, especially. I was reading the chat afterwards, and there was some cussing going on. You guys weren't very happy. But I could tell you a secret. If you get out in front, then only one person is going to shoot you behind you. It's second place. So that's my advice to you guys, because if second place don't get a red shell, you're pretty good. So first, let's go to Rel. I mean, you did better than Mike, but not by much. What happened in this tournament? How did you end up finishing so low? Give us the rundown and your excuses.
Okay. To be honest, I think I was Donkey Kong in the F1 car. I think I was. I don't know. I have no excuses, dude. Like, I mean, I just got whooped. I mean, you were gone, and I know I was trying to get Red. Of course, he's my target every time. But I don't know what happened, man. I know I was pretty upset, and you know, you can run down our chat to see that. I think Mike was a little bit more pissed than me. But yeah, I mean, I really don't have no excuse. Just a bad performance, man. You know, that's how Mario Kart goes, dude. Sometimes you get smacked around and you end up, you know, low on the board. So it's just how it is.
Did you feel like the items were just targeting you more than normal, or just bad luck, or?
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know, everybody says that when they're finishing low, you feel like all the items are coming after you, but. You know, it's just Mario Kart, dude. It's just the randomness of it. It happens that way, you know. So I try to keep a positive outlook on it, so I come back to it instead of taking the disc out and snapping it in half. Because Red Knight, Red Knight was pretty pissed, dude. He was all over me. He was like really upset on Miiverse. He posted a nice little message, and I was trying to see if you seen it, but
No, I didn't.
he was thoroughly pissed and upset, saying saying something along the lines like, I don't know why they patched the game. This is why I hate when developers like patch game because they break a perfectly good game, and I almost regret buying the DLC. I mean, I was like, oh man, calm down, relax. We're still getting Link, okay? We're getting Tanuki Mario. There's still a lot to be excited about, man.
Yeah,
But
he's a competitor though. Some people, I mean, I'm guilty of that.
yeah,
When you're just having a rough go of it, it just feels like you don't ever want to play it again.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it sucks to. I did not see that. I don't know. Was it in the Juices Loose community or was it?
No, it was in the regular feed. I
Oh,
mean, I
okay.
felt like that too for a quick second, but it's Mario Kart, man. You're gonna get whooped like that every once in a while. It's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
he's been out in front quite a bit.
Yeah,
You
he's
know, he
sore
could
loser. He
take.
don't know how to lose, man. He don't know how to
Yeah.
lose.
All right, so that was Rel's take on it. Mike, how did you feel about it? Because you got a few points or a few positions lower than Rel. I didn't read all your guys' comments. I saw that wasn't so pleasant. So
I
sum it
was
up.
furious because quite literally, like everything that could have went wrong went wrong. Like I would be power sliding or dashing, whatever they call it, drifting,
Hmm.
and on a turn, and then boom, someone would knock me right while I'm in the middle of drifting and send me into the grass. And now I'm in the grass and I'm losing like 5 seconds because the grass makes you ridiculously slow.
Hmm.
And then, like, every time I managed to get ahead of somebody, red shell, red shell, red shell. Over and over again, every time I gained ground, I got hit with a red shell in, like, all these races. And I was furious because I know it's not my racing ability. I can race pretty good. I can drift pretty good, you know?
Yeah, you've been finishing pretty well. So
Yeah, so, but it was ruthless. It was like World War III out there. Like, men,
that's how
people,
I felt with that frantic on the week before. I actually felt like I never wanted to play again for a couple hours. So
yeah, it
um,
was ruthless. I got hit with a red shell on the beach, not the beach, the airport. Got
hmm.
stuck behind there, like right on the jump,
Oh yeah.
right behind the thing. Got stuck there. I got hit with the red shell on Shy Guy Falls. I fell into the damn thing. I got hit on Rainbow Road. And you know how many times like the friggin' paratrooper picked me up or Blackened and moved me while everybody was just zoomed past me? Oh my god, I was so
You've been doing good with Roy too. Like you've been
yeah.
like destroying us. So were you Roy? Because I didn't see either of you two hardly the whole race, the whole tournament.
That's jacked up. That ain't right.
No, it wasn't right. At least I saw Rel every now and then.
So out of the 16 races, I only had 3 races that I have any complaints about bullshit happening, and 2 of them involved frickin' Mega Gamer and his stupid bombs. So there was one on Cloud Top. And on the first lap, I had the super horn immediately, but he was right next to me. I knew if he passed me, I wasn't going to catch him. So I super horned him, and I led that whole lap, and that was on like where the lightning strikes on that metal anti-gravity section. So lead that whole lap. Him and God, was it Andrew? Yeah, Andrew. Were bumping behind me, and I hit the launch, and I'm floating down towards the big question mark block that turns into the vine. And I look behind me with my camera. I'm like, oh, they're far behind me. Turn the camera back in front. There's a bomb sitting right on that question mark, and I hit it. Those 2 passed me. So coming on the 3rd lap, right behind them, same spot. I'm landing. Andrew drops a bomb behind him, hits me. Green shell hits me. Star person hits me. I go to take the shortcut, get bumped off, and I got like I think 11th. And if that whole tournament would have been like that, that's probably what you guys experienced. I probably would have not finished because that was some BS. But then it happened again with Mega Gamer. Threw a bomb from way far back, right in front of me, hits me, and another one where I got like 10th place with a bunch of items. So, I mean, other than that, like every other race, I felt like I was competing in the top 3, 4 positions, and it was just like I wasn't getting hit with anything. A lot of those items or a lot of those races. So I was like, it's just the way it works. A couple weeks ago, I felt like every item hit me, and this week it felt like I was just like, I'd get a banana and drag it behind me, and then someone would get a red. So it was like it worked out perfect. I got super horn on a red or blue shell, so it was just like everything seemed to work out. Plus, been taking my corners amazing. lately. I've been really working on taking the corners as tight as possible because you really can gain positions and pull away from people if you take corners really well. So just felt like everything came together for me. And I feel like even though Titanium TLH had the most points, they weren't in our lobby. I definitely won our lobby because we had pretty much the same group the whole time. So I was pretty happy with that. So sucks that it happened to you guys, but you guys will be back up. I know Rel will be back ahead of me. Mike, you'll be ahead of me sometime. If Steel Fox ever races again in a tournament, he probably finish ahead of me again.
I tried.
Because the last time you actually raced one, you finished ahead of me. So. But yeah, let's see. That's pretty much it for Mario Kart 8. Just remember, Wednesday night still, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Ms. T said he's going to race. He's told me that 3 or 4 different times. He said he's going to make it this time. So you guys, if you're subscribed to me, I'm sure you're a fan of Ms. T. He said he'll be there Wednesday, so look forward to racing against him. He said his skills aren't as good as they used to be, but look forward to that on Wednesday. So let's get into it. Hyrule Warriors came out on Friday. I pre-ordered it from Amazon. I think Rel, you got it from GameStop, and Mike, I don't remember where you got it.
GameStop.
Okay, so you got the Ocarina of Time. Did you pre-order it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a little snafu. Amazon didn't send me the Twilight Princess code for the skins. I had to email customer service, and I didn't get the skins till later in the day. And then couldn't find that damn Club Nintendo code. If you guys, I don't know if you had any problems or if you saw my post first, they hid that inside the box. But once I got all that, got the game installed, started playing it. So I'm gonna go down and I said it earlier, but Derek hasn't had a chance to play the game yet. So he can't give his impressions, but he's going to ask us some questions at the end, coming from somebody who hasn't played it, some things he thought up that he wants to know. So first I'm going to go to Rel. Why don't you just sum up the game right now in 2 to 3 words, like very good, excellent, whatever you want to say to start it off. How do you feel about the game?
Thank you.
Amazing is what I would say.
Okay. Mike, how would you... 2 to 3 words, or 1 word if you can come up with one.
Awesome.
Awesome. I'm gonna say extremely fun. I'm gonna use 2 words. So, go back to Mike. Your expectations for the game were pretty high. I think yours were the highest out of all of us. How does the game? And you're what, like 10, 11 hours in, I think. Because that's okay. Where are your Are expectations met? Were they exceeded, or were you disappointed at this point into the game?
Well, the combat is so satisfying. So, I mean, expectations were definitely met. You know, I think it looks amazing.
All right, we'll go through. I got all that. I got those broken down. But just Rel, did it meet, exceed, or below your expectations?
Well exceeded, man.
Yeah, that's
well exceeded.
Well exceeded. I'd say the same thing. My expectations were the lowest, and I think I'm feeling the highest or real close to about this game as anyone here. So
it's true. Juice got the game that day at work, and he didn't even seem excited. He didn't even care. He just said, like, yeah, maybe I'll just stop off and try it on Sunday or something.
Well, that's because I saw that new trailer for the
from him all weekend, so I knew he liked it.
There was that new Legend of Korra game trailer that looked freaking amazing. I'm like, man, I'm actually more excited because I love that show, and it looked just like the show with like a Bayonetta-style combat, and I'm just like, it's coming to everything but the Wii U. But so I was just like, I don't need to play Hyrule Warriors. You know, maybe I'll play it tonight, and then I did, and I love it. So so now we're gonna go through the individual categories. I'm gonna start with like the least important thing. Mike hinted at it already. Just talk about how you feel about the visuals and the overall presentation of the game. Just the visuals and presentations first. We'll go through, talk about the story, the controls, the gameplay, all that later, but just visuals and presentation, how do you feel about Hyrule Warriors? I know it took some flack from some people. There was actually a review site that said it had PS2 graphics, and he wasn't he wasn't exaggerating. He felt that it literally had PlayStation 2 level graphics. So how do you feel about the visuals and the overall presentation, like the menus and stuff? Mike.
I think it looks, like I said, It looks awesome. The graphics look great to me. Colorful, vibrant. They really stand out. You know, it looks 1080p to me. I don't have anything bad to say. I heard that, you know, when you play co-op, that the graphics take a dip in quality. But even then, I've watched a Let's Play of a couple doing, you know, playing together, and the quality doesn't look so bad where it looks terrible. It just looks like it's a dip in quality. You know, it looks really, really good. I was really impressed by the way it looked on my TV. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go next. If you guys follow me on Miiverse, I posted at least 6 or 7 screenshots. Some were from the cutscenes, some was from the gameplay. I did that in Mario Kart 2 when I saw something nice, but the last game I really did it this much for was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I just couldn't believe the visuals because everyone talked how average and below average they are. I wasn't expecting, like, the character models. You know, they have a cartoonish look to them, but they're really well done. Like, their animations are amazing, and the menu layout's really cool when you're loading. It's got the little Link. He blocks the yeah, he blocks that, and then he stabs him, picks up the Triforce. Then when you're actually battling, it's fast, it's fluid, and it just looks good. Like there's up close, like the moblins and those skeletons. You know, they don't look amazing, but the character models look great. The effects, like Lana has it Lana? No, it's Sheik, I believe. If you hit. And I have the legend or the Zelda control scheme, so B's my attack, A is my dodge. I don't know how you guys did it, but with Sheik, if you hit with her standard harp, if you hit B and then Y, she throws like this water spout up, and it looks just amazing. The blue color they went with just looks amazing, and
the fireball that comes down.
Yep.
My favorite one, like a magma strike, whatever it is.
And it's just like there's a lot of effects going on. There's a lot of characters on screen. I noticed a little bit of slowdown on one of the Twilight Realm with that giant dragon thing. But overall, it seems to run great, and it looks way better than I was expecting. And especially there in the cutscenes when it uses the in-game graphics, because if you switch up your character's weapon and stuff, it's in their costume. It's in the cutscene, so you know it's real time. There are some CG trailers, or CG cutscenes, I mean, that they have their standard costumes on, and but there are like some in-game cutscenes when you beat a level, and it has a little celebration. And I posted a couple shots of Lana, and it just looked amazing. So I guess Rel, give us your feelings on the visual and the presentation.
I like the whole layout, the presentation and everything. It looks good, but for me, the visuals look good. I wouldn't say they necessarily look great, but it looks good. But that's just like the small point of it. It definitely doesn't look as bad as PS2 graphics. I will definitely say that. And I don't know. I'm not saying like the game is super gorgeous, stunning, but I mean the game looks good. I mean it don't look bad, and you know it don't deserve all the bashing it's getting. So I mean that's pretty much my take on the visuals. That's just a small part of the game, though.
Mhm. Yeah, that's why I broke it down. And I was gonna have us talk about the story, but no one beat the game, so I don't know if we can really. So far, it seems interesting. It's got me intrigued to see more. So I guess we'll just talk just real quick, Mike. What do you feel about the story so far, without having beat it?
Story is simple. You know, evil army invading Hyrule. Link, Zelda, and Impa, you know, fight against it, and rally the troops to go, you know, kill them at the base. And then the whole timeline gets all messed up. Well, not the timeline, but you know, like dimensions come together, and portals open up, and you basically got to put pieces that were like pieces of evil that was sealed, and you've got to basically, you know, reseal them or you know put them back or close the portals or something like that, and eventually you get to the main boss and you know fight the main boss. That's pretty much the story in a nutshell. You meet characters along the way.
How are you feeling about what you
What
said?
I say is that it makes sense, though.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of cool how they brought it together.
Lana being in the story makes sense. You know, Link like for example, like they have Lana protect the Deku Tree, and the Deku Tree is like the sacred tree of goodness, right? So it makes perfect sense that her character would be fighting to protect it, since her character itself, not spoiling, is like, the embodiment of like good magic. You know what I'm saying? So it makes perfect sense. Like, and all the other characters, Darunia's introduction was great. You don't just meet them, like they're part of the storyline, and like Darunia and all the Gorons are like brainwashed and stuff. So it's just great. Like the story is really connected, really feels part of the Zelda universe, and I'm enjoying it. So
that's cool. Rel, do you have anything to add to that? How you're feeling about the story so far?
Well, I mean, I ain't got that deep into it, but yeah, I mean, it seems good. It's interesting. It's got my attention. So, I mean, it's definitely, if you're like a Zelda fan or anything, you don't have to worry, nobody has to really worry about like it feeling out of the place out of the Zelda, Zelda story or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the new characters fit in with the universe, like Lana and Sia?
Yeah, I do. The way they're doing it, kind of the way it's connecting, I don't really want to spoil anything, but the way they kind of got it connecting, yeah, it does. It does. They fit in.
All right, so next I want to talk about the controls and the gameplay and the combat. Something a lot of people are worried about is the repetitiveness of the combat, the button mashingness of it. So, Rel, how are you feeling about the controls and tied into the gameplay and the combat? How do you feel it all works together? Is it a strong point of the game or a weak point in your opinion?
It's the fun part, man. The controlling, the button mashing and stuff. That's the best way I would say it, because I played like some of the Dynasty Warriors games, and when I was younger, me and my brother kind of get tired of them rather quickly. But I mean, we enjoyed it, man. I mean, it's part of it. I mean, I guess just really adding that Zelda layer over it just really makes it, really makes it fun. I mean, I don't know. I ain't trying to come off like this super Zelda, fanboy or anything like that, but really, like it's just weird how they did it, because Dynasty Warriors was really got boring to me after a while, and then I'm like 10 hours in, and like I can't wait to go home and play it right now. So
that's how I'm feeling. So do you feel the controls are solid? Do you have anything to add to that? The actual controlling your characters.
No, the controlling of the characters is everything's on point, man. It's kind of just like, kind of like typical Nintendo stuff. The controlling and the gameplay and stuff, all that stuff is gonna be on point. I know, Koei Tecmo did it, but I mean, it's on point, man. It's all good.
Yeah. I will bring this up before I get to Mike. Is with the lock-on, it feels like your characters move so fast left to right. It does get a little disorienting and dizzying when you're revolving around characters a lot. I kind of wish they would make it so you'd sidestep a little slower. Me personally, that's the only really control complaint I have. But other than that, the combat, there's so many different combinations of, like, from B to Y. Like, if you press B 3 times and Y 3 times, it's a different combo. If you go B 4 times and Y twice, it's a different combo. There's so many different combos, and it's for each weapon, it's the same button presses, but you get different results. You get different effects, different visuals going on, and it really works well together. And not having played a Dynasty Warriors game before, I don't know if they had those kind of effects or not, or if they had any kind of powers, but it's just really awesome, and I'm really digging the combat. And to tie that in with the strategy of the game too, you got to decide where you want to go fight, and some of the bosses have, like we're talking off air, you got to wait for them to do their strike, and then it gives you an opening to attack them, and they got this meter, and that's the only way you can hurt some enemies. So it's not, it's not just button mashing. If you just try to button mash, you're gonna lose. Like, Midna's gonna kick your ass on hard, guarantee it.
Yeah.
If you're just button mashing, she almost beat me. I had to go back and get hearts a bunch of times. But anyway, Mike, how are you feeling about the combat, the gameplay, and the controls?
I love it. Definitely, you can't just button mash and win. I mean, you have to take control of every outpost. And there are certain enemies that you need to knock them back, so you have to do certain combos that, like you were saying, Sheik's Water Spout. That's a perfect ability to knock the enemy into the air. stop them from like their charge or whatever they're about to do, and then you can get around them and attack in the back. The weakness gauge that appears on them is really good because if you hit on them a couple times, you do like a kind of like a special attack almost, like where you get like a little cutscene and they do the like Sheik will just go like that would be dead like that. But yeah, it's great. Combat is fun. I never get bored of it because, like you said, there are so many different combinations that you're not seeing the same thing over and over again. You're seeing all these different things, and there's so many other things to distract you too. You've got bombs, you've got jars, you've got grass, you've got all the beautiful locales of the maps that you're fighting on. Like, it's not monotonous at all. It's really engaging. The whole thing is engaging, and it feels like you could play a map with the same character 2 or 3 times, right? And then if you get sick of that character, you go to a different character, or you just change that character's weapon, and then you've got a whole new gameplay. You know what I'm saying? You never get bored of it. I can play for like 4 hours and thinking, okay, I'm kind of tired of this game. The next day, I'm raring to go. Let's play again. I'm so excited, So many things to do in the game, collectibles and all that stuff. So, yeah, I love it. I love the combat controls. I agree with you with the Z targeting. One thing that annoyed me with the Z targeting, I found it very hard to move between enemies.
Yeah, I couldn't switch. It kept locking me to the wrong one too.
Right, like so if I wanted to shoot the Deku Baba, I couldn't because it'd be like locking on the Goblin Commander or whatever it was called. So I'd have to kill that thing first before I could get the Deku Baba. But other than that, I mean, minor complaints because it's just awesome.
Yeah, and you mentioned unlockables. That's the next thing I want to talk about was all the game modes and the content from what you've experienced so far. A lot more in depth than I thought. There's that whole badge creating thing where you can kind of build up a character's stats. You can choose to use your resources on one character, then it kind of maxes out, then it kind of forces you to kind of build up some of the others. You can level up characters by using rupees, and the whole smith, crafting and forging weapons together to get different attributes and stuff. And it's just, I was surprised, and I'm 11 hours in, almost 12 hours in, and I feel like I just scratched the surface. So I'm really looking forward to going into the venture mode, beating that, and getting A rank on all the little challenges. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to. And so what do you guys, Rel, how are you feeling about the content that we got for the $60 game? Because I was saying beforehand I didn't think it was worth $60, but now I'm like, definitely this is definitely a $60 game, no question about it. There's a few people on here asking how we feel about the game. I think we already talked about it before. They might ask these questions beforehand. Definitely a $60 game. I could say that with 100% confidence. There's a lot of content yet to be had. I could easily see this being a 30, 40 plus hour game for me. So I guess we'll go to Rel first. How are you feeling about the amount of content and for what you're getting for $60?
I was with you with the $49.99 at first, but like I said, I mean, like you were kind of saying though, like once you get the game and it has all the content and like we're 10 hours in the story mode, and then you got the whole adventure mode. I mean, it's just so much up in there, man. It's well worth the money, well worth it. So $60 is cool, and then I got the DLC too. I don't know if Juice is gonna pull the trigger on that, but I got the DLC too.
Did you? You got the season pass?
Yeah, I got it, man. So
actually, when I was playing adventure mode, I was playing as Dark Link.
Okay.
Nice.
And it's so cool because they show you an 8-bit Dark Link. It's so cool. Try that out.
Oh, in adventure mode, they show you an 8-bit Dark Link. Okay,
yeah,
that's tight. See, man, I ain't even touched that yet. You know what I mean? And I'm 10 hours in. So I mean, it's well worth it.
Final
top before we get to Derek's questions, and then we'll go to the custom.
Well, there's actually more stuff we didn't talk about. We have there's medals in the game, there's achievements, and like the weapons, the sealed weapons you can't use until you're stronger, and then there's weapons that have like a number on the bottom with a red mark, and that pretty much means like you have to defeat like 10,000 enemies before you can use that weapon or something like that. And there's I don't know what it's called, like the acupuncture, or the hell it's called, where you make the mixture.
Oh, the apocryphy or whatever, or
Yeah, I
something
don't know
like
what it's
that.
called. You make the mixture, and it lasts for all characters, or for like one
I
level.
haven't figured that out yet. I don't know what that stuff does. So.
It's just literally it's just like you burn a bunch of materials for like an added effect in the level, whether it's to pick up more weapons or weapon stars or whatever. And so that's interesting. And the gold sculptulas, you collect the pictures,
Mm-hmm.
the picture pieces, and it unlocks more of the game. Just more stuff gets unlocked.
Yeah.
There's a lot of collectibles, whatever. I watched this guy on YouTube called the Completionist. I'm sure a lot of people know about him. He played the game straight, mostly straight. He got it 2 weeks before it came out from Nintendo. It took him 247 hours to complete the game at 100%.
Wow.
So there was a lot of content in this game, and that's not including the DLC.
I'm definitely not gonna get 100%. There is no way.
I wouldn't expect you to, because there's really no reward for it. It's just
Mhm.
like a bragging rights kind of thing. But the DLC with the new weapons and everything like that, and all the new scenarios and characters, it's definitely worth it to get it, in my opinion.
So, Coupon Strives chimed in. She says using the right analog stick, she could switch between Z-Lock commands. I don't know if that meant you could switch between targets. I didn't try that, so that'd be something definitely to try.
With the L stick or the right stick?
It says the right stick.
Yeah, that's right. You can. Yeah, you can.
Oh, why didn't you tell us?
I'm sorry, man. You lock
I
on to
don't even
them.
use
I thought
this.
that's what you guys were saying.
have a
That
right
it wouldn't do it for you guys.
You could lock
That's
on,
what
and
you
you
guys were saying.
you could move to the next one by hitting the right analog
Yeah,
stick.
but yeah, to hit the right analog stick. I thought that's what you guys were saying. You
You
guys were
press
doing,
it
but it wasn't
down.
doing it. No, you
press
just
it
like
down.
flick it over.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that
And
just helped. I'm glad we.
That helps a lot. Like,
That could have saved me a few times.
Mike,
So-
you wasn't using that either?
no.
Oh.
Hell, I had never used the right analog stick. I almost
I
forgot
have
I
not
had it.
used it yet either. Oh, for the camera, I rarely use it for the camera. I use the L. I just hit the ZL button. for
Yeah,
the
that's
camera.
what I do too. That's like from my Ocarina of Time, days. That's where you press the back buttons to move the camera around. That's what I was doing.
All right, so the final thing, because I want to get to Derek's questions here, so he can be involved in this. But just how do you guys feel about the music? The menu music's the typical Zelda, orchestrated awesome music, but the actual combat levels, the default music's like heavy metal renditions, not heavy metal, but hard rock kind of renditions of the Zelda themes. And how you guys feeling about the music? Without going in too long here, just Rel, how you feeling about the soundtrack?
I like it, man. I know there's probably a lot of people looking because, they're probably like, oh, you like heavy metal. But, I mean, it's not that. It's just, it does sound really good, man.
Yeah,
all
it's
of
like
it
a
does
guitar. It's like a guitar. It's almost like a symphony metal. It's like Metallica when they did a symphony thing. It was just kind of, it's like combining the two. So just
Yeah.
like not to give people the wrong idea. It's not like headbanging.
Yeah.
It's like if like Hyrule Warriors is dun, 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 then like in the game it's like dun, 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 like that.
It's a little bit. I don't know if that's that connotated.
That's exactly how it is. It's like,
He's just very excited. That's all.
All right.
Exactly how it is.
The music's
Like,
great.
got
You
it
can
just
listen
right.
You can listen to the track separately. You can play any level with any unlocked track you have. There's just a lot of customization there. I've been rocking just the whatever default track for each level. I haven't messed with that yet. So Derek, you got some questions for us. Finally get you involved here.
Hey, I enjoyed just listening to everybody too. That's why I still wanted to come on today.
Any part of you feeling like you should get this game after everything we just said?
Well, shoot, after the first day, seeing just you guys chat back and forth and the pictures you were throwing up there, checking out the Miiverse, which is another reason I love the Miiverse. I was like, yeah, I do want to get it. It was on my big list for the year. I picked up the 3DS recently, and then I started buying games for that, and then it's kind of like, well, now I'm going to buy Smash, so that one, Hyrule Warriors had to take a back seat. I'm not sure that was the best decision, looking at how awesome it is, but at the time, when I bought the other stuff, it wasn't looking like this game was going to be that good. So, you live and you learn, I suppose, hindsight 2020 and all that. But I think I know I'll get there at some point, just listening to you guys. I definitely have some questions I wanted to ask. I checked around some forums, just looking at some of the odd questions people were asking. Some things that I think I already know the answers to. Some I just want to hear your takes on. But first off, we can start with some really easy ones because I think every character you play as, or even every weapon you pick with them, you get a little bit of a different result, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just ask each of you. So far, who's your favorite character to play as, and with what weapon? Just real quick. No need to go into detail.
We don't have all the characters unlocked yet.
So
Thus far.
yeah,
So
that's
with you, Mike, since you wanted to volunteer.
All right. Well, my favorite character so far has got to be Impa. I love Impa's, giant blade, her water attacks. It's just really totally different field from Link and everything else. But then also, I got to give it up to Lana and the speed.
hey, one character, he said.
Why does it be one?
Because I asked for one.
Yeah, he was pretty. You weren't specific just now, but off air, you're like you wanted one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Impa. Impa's my favorite because her sword style is great.
Okay.
With the
Well,
water.
I'm glad that you did highlight that they play so differently than each other. That's really cool for me to hear, and for anyone else who might not be aware of that. So, Rel, what do you got? So far, who's your favorite to play as?
Sorry, Juice. I'm going with Lana and the Spear, dude. I like it, man. All right, just leave it there. Just leave it there.
Steal my
ahead,
steal
Juice.
my answer.
You can definitely copy the answer for this part of the round. Go ahead, Juice. Same for you then?
That was my early favorite, and but I do like her with the spellbook too. But Lana with the spear. God damn it. I hate being. I want it to be something different, but.
I'll start with you, production. Anyone you've played as so far, or been forced to use a weapon, or I don't really know how it plays out, but that you just really weren't feeling as much, and maybe that's just specific to how you enjoy playing, that you just really didn't like that character?
No character in particular. I don't care for Impa with her fire blade. It's just very weak powered, and those enemies that have the shield attack where you have to wait for their weak point, it takes forever to kill those, defeat those enemies because she's not. I don't have her leveled up that high, but that's the only frustrating one. When there's a few levels you absolutely have to play as her in the adventure mode and then in the story mode, and that sword just doesn't have the power of her normal weapon is that big sword. So that was my least favorite combination so far.
That's very cool to hear that your character and weapon choice can really impact so much of it. It's not just aesthetics or anything, but it really is quite a detailed system that they laid out then. Mike, so what about you? Anyone you've played as or had a weapon combo that you found that just really didn't work for you so far?
Well, when I first played as Sheik, I didn't like Sheik. But then as I unlocked more combos, I thought Sheik was awesome.
Okay.
Later on, when I got badges and I put the badges on Sheik and expanded her combos, she was great.
And what about you?
I don't like Impa and her big sword, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't like her. There's not nobody on here that I don't like, but if I have to pick one that I didn't, enjoy playing with as much as the rest, it would be her.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm forcing you to pick someone. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a good answer.
Yeah. You definitely are.
So, all right, good. We got that one away. So for this next set of questions here, try not to copy the answer of the person before, and I'm going to try not to make this too difficult because I'll start with you, Ralph, because I got you here. Something you didn't expect to be as good about the game that kind of surprised you.
Can I say the overall fun factor of the game? I guess. I mean, I didn't expect it to be that fun.
All right, you know what?
Survey says.
That's what I got. I would say overall fun factor. I wasn't expecting it to be. I wasn't expecting the game to be that enjoyable.
Well, great. I mean, I think everybody's probably pretty happy to hear that. What about you, Juice? Maybe something that kind of caught you off guard with how
you went to me in case Mike stole my answer. The whole strategy aspect, I was not expecting there to be any strategy. So the fact that there's decisions you got to make, which keep you want to save, and you got a person calling out saying, "Hey, I need help." You got to go stop and do that, and then you can set it up better by taking these keeps over early on and not having to worry about it later. So the strategy part of it was a definite surprise for the better. I was pleasantly surprised with that.
Nice. All right, Mike, what do you got?
I was pleasantly surprised at adventure mode.
Okay.
I know adventure mode got hyped, and like that it was going to be really cool and do challenges, but in my mind I figured like, oh, you just press the button and you do like a challenge and then that's it. And like I heard there was quizzes in there. I think there probably is quizzes in there and stuff, but just when I played it, it was just like the main game. When I played adventure mode, I had a map, I had things to conquer, strategy, all that stuff. And then, when you unlock the specific square with the item, and you lock the treasure in there, then you can play that again, and then you can get the special weapon and the special treasures that unlocked. So adventure mode was just like so familiar, and yet at the same time rewarding, and at the same time like nostalgic. And it just took me by surprise that I would enjoy it that much because I was kind of iffy on it, So I didn't know what it was going to be like.
I'm really glad to hear you say that because I was kind of in the same boat with adventure mode. I felt like it built me up, and then I kind of thought the exact same thing as you. Almost like, all right, am I just pushing a button and doing some challenge and moving on? What did surprise me about adventure mode is I've seen pictures and stuff. You mentioned like the 8-bit Dark Link. I saw that they got the other characters there kind of like 8-bit versions, and I really thought that was a cool touch that they thought to implement that. That's awesome, for me to look back on that. But great answers. Okay, so Mike, I'll start with you this time. Go ahead and gripe about something. Anything.
All right, well, I already said the Z targeting thing, but we already got corrected on that. Let's see, what else can I gripe about?
See, this is good that everyone's having to work.
I have a gripe if Mike needs to think about it.
Yeah, go ahead and steal his. So go ahead, you start.
I'm gonna steal the damn text when in the bottom left of your screen in real small text is when people call out that they need help or parts of the story while you're combat. It's on the gamepad too and bigger, but I wish there was a little bit more notification or maybe some voice acting or something. But it's just really small text and it's hard to follow that while you're trying to do the combat.
That's true.
That's fair. What about you, Mike? You need another minute here?
Yeah, go to Rel.
Come on, man. You can complain about something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can complain about something, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have anything about it that really bothered me. I could pick one of them enemies, right?
Yeah, go for it. What do you got?
Okay, that one dead enemy that yells and you like freeze for like 2 seconds.
The Re-Dead.
Yeah, him. Yeah, that he annoys the hell out of me.
They're doing in every Zelda game, but
yeah. So
but now with a powered up weapon, you can take them out in one or two. When their weak point comes up, you can take them out and do that twice. And with a powered up weapon, it takes them out pretty easy. So, but then they get the dark version. Yeah, then they get like powered up later on, so they're even harder to kill. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good complaint actually. Those things are annoying. Mike's still thinking.
Windows open, man.
I don't have a complaint.
Okay, let's move on.
Not a problem. So, here's something I wanted to ask. I got a question here. I wanted to ask each of you something specific, and then kind of a question from the group overall, which I think we've already covered that. Mike, you don't mind if I start with you, though?
No.
I really hear your answer on this because I know you, like myself, are a big fan of role-playing games. We've covered that a bit in the past. So, I know you can get experience. You can collect and upgrade weapons. You can do badges to boost your stats. Can you briefly highlight some of that? What might someone like myself, who's just a huge RPG fan, what might draw them into that whole stat building process that they may not know?
It definitely helps. When you level up and your weapon gets stronger, it's noticeable in battle. The health goes down a lot quicker, and the elements. I don't think the elements play that big of a role in the game. Like they're just like nice added effects.
So I didn't even know there were elements in there, but you're talking about water, fire, things like that?
Water, fire, light, dark, and what else? That's it? Water, fire, light, dark?
I haven't seen them all. I've only seen Water and Fire.
And anyway, yeah, so you definitely want to level up because, like I said, it makes it easier. It's fun. You definitely want to put badges on, and because the badges not only just increase your stats, they make like certain things easier. Like, for example, you can capture a keep easier if you have a badge on. And capturing a keep is vital, to making sure your army stays alive. So.
Well, that's great. Okay, so getting your stats up is very important, like for any role-playing game. But what I'm hearing from everyone here so far is that the game doesn't feel like grinding. So what you found is that you have to grind, level up, and get your stats up. But you're saying it's more than just holding the A button down or something like you might find in a traditional RPG. You are enjoying leveling up.
Yeah, I had to play, like, there's materials in the game. Like, certain materials are only in certain levels. So,
Perfect.
like, say you wanted to, get a Goron breastplate or whatever, right? That's only going to be in Darunia's level when you first meet Darunia. So you'll have to do that level over and over and over again to, collect the materials because certain characters will get the exact same stat as others with different materials. So like if Link needs like 3 pieces of chainmail or something, I'm just thinking of something off my head. And then, for Darunia, he could probably get the exact same thing, but he'll need, like, 3 Poe necklaces or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, requirements for different characters. Basically, you want to grind for materials, and when you do that, you get rupees, which helps you, for everything else. And it's just fun. You don't have to. You can spend a day, 3-4 hours grinding and have fun doing it, and then the next day, you can go back to story mode or whatever. You'll never get bored because there's so many things to do. So
what you're describing sounds like a fun experience. So going through as every different character, you will get very different results depending on how you want to equip them or build them. It's very unique experience for each character.
Right.
So by them releasing additional characters and stuff as they've done and probably will continue to do, it is promising for a whole other experience through that character rather than just another skin or something.
Right.
I think that's great to hear.
Yeah, characters don't feel like skins because they have different weapons. So you can never share weapons with characters. They all have their own weapon, and then like even their secondary weapon, that's for them exclusively, and no other character can use it. So, the Smitty options with fusing weapons and the leveling up system, you can only level up, the specific character, not all the characters. And like I said, the materials, for badges or whatever. But the badges, I believe, are all the same. Everybody has the same badges, just different requirements to get them.
Okay.
But the badges open up combos. They give you special, unique abilities like, hurting an enemy through his block and things like that. So. Real fun. Good stuff.
Great. All right. I'm going to try and jump onto Rel because I got a real doozy of a question for him. You can even pass if you need some time to think on this.
All
Juice thought it was a bit of an unfair question, but I said Rel can handle it.
Okay.
Just get a little bit here. So, I kind of wanted to go a 3DS angle here because I've been playing a lot on the 3DS. And with a 3DS game, or any 3DS game, they're always going an extra mile and trying to find a way to implement a spot, street pass function, something like that. So if this game was on the 3DS, it would probably have something like that. My thought on that would be, kind of how Link Between Worlds has that, where you face off with a Shadow Link or something like that when you spot pass other folks. I wasn't sure. Do you think that maybe this game is missing something because it's not on 3DS and doesn't have a function like that? That is that you can't really compete against another player, even just a ghost data or their shadow data, something like that would have probably existed if it was on a different platform.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, so, like, what you're pretty much trying to say is, like, on the Link Between Worlds, when you spot past somebody, you can fight their shadow links. So you're saying, like, competing with somebody in terms of that way or, like, online, kind of?
Right. Well, either. I think if it was on the 3DS, that function they probably would have gone the extra mile and added a function like that because they wanted the Street Pass feature.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Do you think that would be a cool feature to see in a game like this? even though it's on
Yeah.
the Wii U. I mean, yeah, obviously you can't street pass anybody, but if that were something they wanted to add to it, would that be something that would be fun, even if you weren't fighting that person live, just data to build some character?
Yeah, I think that would add more to the game. You know, it'd make it a more like to me, it'd make it a more like of a social kind of experience, kind of like when me and Juice were doing the time trials with the Mario
Right,
Kart
and
8
you were
on
racing as
Rainbow.
Ghost, exactly.
Yeah, kind of like that. I think it would add a lot more. Am I feeling right now like it's really, really missing it? I can't say that I
Right,
am
you're still pretty early.
like yeah, and I'm really enjoying it right now. But you know, as you go in more, you know, just like we have our like gripes and stuff with Mario Kart 8, we'll probably have more gripes like that. But definitely to have had that feature off top would have been great. I think that would have been awesome. It would just added more to the whole social experiment. You know, competing with your buddies, since you know what I mean. Since you can't really go online with your buddies, it would have been cool to do that.
Right, and I guess when I was bringing the 3DS in there, it's almost a shame because they would have gone that extra mile if it had only been on the platform. They would probably put something in like that at launch.
Yeah, they would yeah, definitely would on the 3DS they would have did something like that, because they're always trying to promote that street pass and stuff like that, and it's pretty awesome too. But that would have added even more on top of, you know, the $60, you know, on top of what it's already worth right now. So I mean, like right now I can't really say that it's missing it, but probably later on I'd probably be like, yeah, that would have been cool to have too.
Who's watching a video in the background there? I keep getting like interference. Someone's watching something.
Yeah, I'm hearing an echo on everyone, but let's just keep chugging here. We got a few questions I wanted to get to.
Sure. Well, I got a question for you, Juice. Since
Okay.
You ready for this?
Mhm.
Okay. So right now there is no sort of online play at all, and they do have the two-player co-op option. Even though, you know, as we kind of talked about a little bit, it really reduces the graphics. Or the visuals. That's the rumor, anyways. So I know you guys are still early, and maybe you're not feeling like a whole online co-op part is missing from the game, even though no one's really played the two-player co-op. Do you think it would improve the experience to have that, Juice? That's an option?
Not in the story mode, but like in free play, it would only improve it if it had voice chat. If there wasn't voice chat, it wouldn't add anything to it, in my opinion. So it'd have to have voice chat in order for it to be. But then you're just going to be chatting with your buddies, and you're not really going to be paying attention to the game much. So I'm not missing it right now, and like I said, I think it would, for this type of game. You'd be doing like you do with Call of Duty when you get a friend on. You just BSing and you're not really paying attention. So it kind of takes the point of playing the game away. It's like, you know, just do a Google Hangout if you want to talk to somebody. So I honestly don't miss it. But you know, some people might have enjoyed it. So for me personally, I don't care that it's not there.
Okay. So now, kind of follow up to that. Do you think that the best focus they could have put their time on was creating all this DLC or add-on content, rather than maybe adding other features such as online being an option?
Well, there's 2 new modes coming in that last pack, which they haven't specified, so we don't know what those are going to be. But I think they used their time wisely in the limited development cycle. They definitely crammed a lot of content and have some really cool characters that they came up with. So I'm feeling that they definitely used their time wisely now that I've played the game.
Hey, I'm glad. Like I said, some of these questions weren't, you know, specifically mine. They were things I'd read online that people were saying, different forum topics, and I just thought, you know, maybe it'd be good to have you guys clarify them a bit here. So I don't know if you wanted to have anything else you wanted to go over, Juice.
I'm just gonna go to the Q&A because we're almost an hour in.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at here. So let's jump onto the Q&A because maybe they got some other questions.
We got a lot of things to cover. The first off is kind of a breaking news. I don't know if you guys had your Wii U on today, but mine just had an update as I turned it off. Terrell TIGF, who's had breaking news on my Juices List before, said the new update allows for folders on the Wii U menu where you can combine software into one folder. That's out now. That update just hit today. So I could create a separate folder for indie games or virtual console and take up, have a lot less icons to search through to find stuff. So that just hit. It's on NintendoEverything.com. It's the Wii U update version 5.2, so that's just kind of some breaking news. So thanks, Terrell, for sharing. So that's cool. I don't know. You guys probably don't download. I think I download the most, almost all my games, all my retail games, and all the indie games and virtual console games I have. So that's really good news. But we won't go through that because there's quite a few questions here. Francis from P Nintendo says Mario Kart 8 isn't worth getting mad at. It's too damn random to be taken serious. That's easier said than done. When you're in a 16-race tournament with people you race with every week, it's easy to say you shouldn't get mad at it, but it's real easy to get mad. And it's just, if you're a competitive person, you're gonna get mad. Yeah, that's a nice thought, but in reality, you're gonna get mad. If you play that game as much as we do against each other, you're gonna get mad. So, and real quick, I think Tony came in late. We didn't have as many viewers when we started. He just wants thumbs up, thumbs down for Hyrule Warriors. So, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, 2 of them. Put 2 up.
I'm also sticking up my big toes.
So then Terrell said thoughts on the new update just released. I gave mine. Do you guys, is that going to affect you? Do you guys have enough downloaded stuff to have folders mean anything to you?
I download everything, so I think it'll be pretty nice for myself.
I hope it's better than the 3DS's folders, because it just has like a folder with a letter. You can't like put a name on it. I'm hoping you could put like indie, or like at least use some other than just one letter.
On the folders.
What are you talking about?
On the Wii U, the folders that we can put software in.
Yeah, you can create a folder and then put whatever you want in it to take up. So you could have literally probably 10 games in one icon, so you don't have to have. I have 4 pages of stuff on my home menu with all the downloaded stuff I have. So a folder, I could probably have it all on one page if I wanted to.
But you don't know how to do it, right? How to
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you just click on an empty spot and it creates and it gives you the option. So, Grayson Young, do you think 2015 will disappoint people like 2014 did? I don't think 2014 didn't disappoint me. I think at least Star Fox will definitely be delayed. Anybody feel disappointed in 2014 here?
Nope.
No.
Nah, unfortunately not. I got nothing.
Great. I thought 2014 is just getting started with, we got Smash coming out Friday, Bayonetta, Smash for Wii U, Captain Toad, Sonic Boom, Watch Dogs, if you're into that, some decent games. I'm pretty excited. Actually, 2014 has been a great year. Maybe if you're talking from PlayStation and Xbox perspective, but none of us here other than Rel, he sold his PS4, so I guess in that regard it might have been disappointing. Mike's got something.
Mario 3D Worlds.
That's 2013.
Tropical Freeze.
That's
Hyrule Warriors. Mario Kart 8. Super Luigi U.
2013.
Wind Waker HD.
How about 2014?
I'm disappointed about.
That's true. He asked about 2014 specifically, but some of those were 2013. But no big deal. We got your point, and we got great games coming out in the next couple of months. Terrell says you can put names on the folders, so I'll try that. Hopefully you can fill it out, and it doesn't look as stupid as it does on the 3DS. And Coupon Strives has a question related to Hyrule Warriors. We kind of touched upon it. She says, I'm sorry, but being a Zelda-based game, I understand there would be the usual suspects, but this game, do you guys think voice acting is highly missed upon idea? They used a narrator. Shouldn't they have carried over some voice acting to the main cast? I definitely think so. I think you could have gave Lana a voice, Zelda a voice. Midna, you could have just had her speaking a different language and stuff, but I think it would have been nice. And,
I think Koei got nervous that the Nintendo fans wouldn't like voice acting, and so that's why, for the Zelda series, and that's why they muted all the voices.
And maybe you can see the character's mouth moving. I mean, maybe they had planned on it and just maybe they didn't have time. So,
somebody would have complained about it though if they had not just Nintendo fans. Somebody would have been complaining. You know what I mean? So I mean, I think it's cool the way it is. I think.
All right, I would have.
And they intended
for the cutscenes, not the part where you're talking about where you're trying to read what they're saying, but you're in the middle of a battle. So
That'd
I mean,
nice.
And they intended to make this game a Zelda game with Dynasty Warrior influence, but Miyamoto told them no, it's going to be a Dynasty Warriors game with Zelda influence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they might have, intended just to have no voices from the get-go, because in their mind it was going to be a true Zelda game. Until
And
Miyamoto said, that's not a good idea.
you also got to consider then they would have had to do Japanese voice acting and English voice acting and hire people, and it would have been more expensive and more time consuming.
That's true. And
I don't know if,
it's a gamble. They don't know if it's going to do well.
mhm.
So far, it hasn't sold great in Japan, right? So
It's over 100,000, but that's not amazing, but it's not terrible for only being out for a month or so. So
right.
it could end up 200,000. I think when this game drops down to 40, I think it's gonna have another resurgence, because I just think some people doubted it like I did, and it actually turned out to be great. So maybe word of mouth could help. But let's get on here, Tony Karan. I don't know if you guys have heard. I guess I'll set this up. This will make the joke even make sense. Hideki Kamiya, they went back through Bayonetta 1, and that Jean character, that's the blonde with the red outfit, they actually reduced the size of her breasts from like just really ridiculously huge to like normal size for the Wii U version. And it wasn't because it's a Nintendo system, because obviously you've seen all the sexuality still in Bayonetta. He just felt that character model was just overdone and ridiculous. So he went back, reduced the size to the concept art. So Tony's question is, he heard a rumor that Sia stole Jean's boobs from Bayonetta HD on Wii U, and she wanted them back. Is this true? So that's a very very mature question there, Tony. Ying Yang Yao, who I don't know if that name's a joke or if that's legitimate. I've get this person leaves questions quite frequently. Music ? Any music that you'd play the most for the game if you can? I don't know the tracks. I haven't gotten that far into it. I know yesterday in a podcast there were some guys, they already knew the names of the tracks. I haven't gotten that far into it to really pick a favorite. I just let the default one play on the level. So you guys, have you gone through and picked out a favorite track or anything?
Nah,
Me neither. Me neither. They all sound pretty good.
Yeah, everything I'm hearing so far is good, and eventually over time I'll probably maybe I'll pick some favorites, but it's too early for that. But then he asked,
I love the orchestral track that plays. It's a combination of Ocarina of Time, Skyward Sword. It's like, one ends and another begins, like just games, like in repeated order. It's awesome.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the screenshots for that Fast Racing Neo game? They posted 3 screenshots from that indie developer. Any of you guys
I've seen 2 of them that you had posted on Google Plus. I've seen 2 of them.
So, Derek, I think you saw those. You were.
Yep.
So they were talking about like 4K textures and all that in this game, and trying to get it to run at 60 frames per second. They just confirmed that the presentation is 720p, 60 frames per second. And Tony thinks, what are our thoughts on that? And I'll say the same thing I said on PlayerEssence.com. As long as it's a consistent 60 frames per second, or high where it doesn't dip down ridiculous, and the game's fun, that's all I care about. 720 is a darn good resolution from all the Wii U games so far. They run in 720, and they all look great, so doesn't bother me. I don't know if you're, Tony, if you're an Xbox One or PS4 guy, but that resolution stuff means absolutely nothing to me. As long as the game's not 480, I mean, that would just be ridiculous in this day and age. 720 looks upscaled to 1080, looks beautiful on the Wii U. Mario Kart 8 is probably the best looking game I've seen this year, with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze right behind it, even with some of the PS4 games I've seen. So it means nothing to me. I'm just glad it's going to be at 60 frames per second for a racing game, futuristic racing game like that. I think 60 frames is definitely more important than 1080p. Like Forza Horizon 2 is 1080p 30 frames per second. So, any thoughts on that, Rel?
The resolution means a lot, but like, I don't know, it's all numbers to me, dude. As long as it looks good and it runs smooth, I'm happy. They can play with all them. The Xbox and PlayStation 4 can argue over all that stuff.
That's well said. I don't think any more needs to be said on that subject. Let's see, Gordon Curry. I did not pre-read this question. It's long though. What do you think of the lack of gamepad support in Hyrule Warriors? You can't touch the screen for the menus, and there's no map or move list options. It just displays objectives and acts as a second screen. I love the game, but gamepad use was poorly used. That's an excellent point that I forgot to bring up. I mentioned how you had to go in the options to set the Pro Controller or the gamepad as which one you want for one player, which one you want for two. You have to set that to go back and forth. You can't just pick up the controller and it automatically activates. If you start the game with the Pro Controller, you have to go to the menu and switch it to the gamepad if you want to. So that sucks. The lack of the map, I thought that was a huge missed opportunity, which should have been my negative. There's that map's enough right to your screen showing like where your troops are and stuff. If that was on your gamepad, like half the gamepad screen and the other half was like the text that people were saying, hey, I need help here, that would have been awesome. I don't know why they didn't do that. I think it's a huge missed opportunity, and you can't use the touchscreen, so it's like it really missed out, and I think it's just another example of not using the gamepad. But still a great game. How do you guys feel about the gamepad support or lack thereof?
I didn't even think about that whole map part, but that is a big miss right there. I didn't even pay any attention because I just got the Pro Controller and I've been playing with that. So just kind of thinking about that, it is a miss, especially since that seems to be what everybody's pretty much doing with the gamepad anyways, putting the map on it. That's what they should have did too. It would have seemed like it really would have been a plus for us to have that on the gamepad.
And you can have the gamepad sitting on your armrest and play with the Pro Controller and still see like those. It tells you like an update, like at 37 minutes in, so and so appeared or something like that, the boss. So I mean, it does give you stuff on there, but I think the map would have been a bigger addition. Mike, how do you feel? Do you think the gamepad could have been utilized better?
I haven't used the gamepad because my gamepad, I could charge it all night and then it pretty much dies within like 2 hours. So I just use my Pro Controller for pretty much everything now.
Well, you might want to make an investment, like $30, get that extended battery, because my gamepad lasts 5 to 6 hours. So
yeah.
It doesn't sound like much, but when you can double it, it definitely makes a huge difference. So Gordon, that was a great question to ask because I thought about it the first day I had the game, and I haven't thought about it since because I've been having so much fun. So I did skip a couple questions. I kind of deleted them because we answered some of them, and some of them I just don't care. I don't care about. I know, Grayson, sorry, man. You asked this yesterday. Don't care about Assassin's Creed or Far Cry. I think you need to find a different audience to ask that question to. I don't think there's a lot of Assassin's Creed fans as Wii owners after all the BS that Ubisoft's pulled, especially, and we don't get Far Cry. So I think that game was way overrated personally. But he just had a comment at the end. We were talking about Saturday's tournament. Gray won, and Rel, you did I can't remember what you finished second. I think you finished just ahead of me.
Yeah. He
said ASAP was really good on Saturday. I remember getting a star, then lightning, then I drafted Terminator Juice and stole the win. Yeah. I spectated him after my 16 races, and I don't know if that was the whole night for him, but he was in third place on the last lap, the second to last item box. He gets a triple red in third place, takes out second, gets into second on the last item box, gets a triple mushroom, and the first place guy is literally 5 car lengths in front of him, and he used the triple mushroom to win. I was like, I've never ever gotten those two items in conjunction, like one right after the other in third and second place. I was like, holy crap! So I don't know if that was just one lucky race or he was getting that a lot, but that was ridiculous. So
he's always pretty good, isn't he?
He's good.
Yeah.
But he got lightning and star and all that. And he got a star when the lightning hit, and then he frickin' got up like 5-6 positions, and then he draft boosted past me for the win. So, so that's it. I mean, it worked out for him. The lightning, the star. The only good thing about the star is when lightning hits and you're using the star. I mean, that's the best.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I use it, because I'm like, if a lightning hits, I'm good. So I just want to. We got the Q&A done. I'm going to throw one question out to you guys, last question. We talked about this on the podcast I was on yesterday for Gamers at Large. What Nintendo franchise, and Derek, I'll ask, you can answer this too, what Nintendo franchise, if any, would you like to see Warriors treatment for, other than Zelda now that we've had Hyrule Warriors? So I'll go to Derek first. Since he liked to ask us questions, I'm going to ask him one. Is there a franchise you think would work in the Warriors universe in the Nintendo franchise?
Pokemon could probably be done.
Okay. Rel?
Fire Emblem.
That's a good one.
Oh.
Yeah, I would like to see Fire Emblem.
Yeah, that's excellent.
I only played Awakening, but it was a wonderful game, dude. You need to get it. It's great, dude.
Lots of characters with swords, so it would fit.
Yeah, so that's what I would pick.
Mike, do you have a franchise you'd like to see go get the Warriors treatment?
It has to be a Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or you could answer it with one. You could answer it with one you'd absolutely don't want to see.
I don't think it would work with Metroid.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I would absolutely not want to see Metroid.
Definitely not. Maybe no. You know what? Maybe Star Fox with R-Wings and vehicles. I don't know.
I'm gonna say Mario. That's an answer that was given last night. A horde of Koopas, Koopa Troopas coming at you, and having Mario, Princess Bowser, the Koopalings, have all them, and have like a different enemy, a horde or something that took over the
Mario
Koopas.
has a lot of different enemies, so it could be really, varied.
And they could do it in like a cel-shaded art style instead of going for. I mean, Hyrule Warriors has kind of a cartoonish style to it, but I think like a really cool cel-shaded style with the Mario Warriors could be cool. So that's it. These shows, seems like we just did. The last week, I know it was just Rel, but it seems like these shows come up quick. Mondays are coming up quick on us. This is the 16th episode of The Juice is Loose, which is amazing to think about. Kind of never thought, I didn't know how many of these I'd be doing, but we're doing good. Appreciate you guys coming on. I want to promote something I got going on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Me and Games Rosa, our Mega Gamer, on the Wii U in the Mario Kart 8 tournament. We're going to do a Legend of Korra Book 4. That comes out Friday. Nick.com. It's a web series now, or it's on the web. They pulled it from Nickelodeon because it's too mature. But Season 4 comes out. It was scheduled to be in the summer, but they pushed it up. And it's the final season of a great series. And we're going to recap Season 3, get everyone caught up. It's going to be spoiler-filled, so if you haven't finished Season 3, I recommend not watching it. And then we're going to go over the Season 4 trailer, what we think is going to happen. And it's going to be cool. We might actually, I didn't ask him, but I'm thinking maybe doing a weekly review maybe on Saturdays after the episodes air on Fridays. So watch. If you're not a fan of Korra or the Avatar: The Last Airbender mythology, you're not going to get much out of it. But just going to try something new, not video game related, even though there is a game coming out soon in October. So look forward to that. Mario Kart 8 tournament, as always, Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully Derek can make it this time. But I think he's going to be playing Animal Crossing. His little character looks like Mike, he thinks. I didn't see it, but...
Yeah, it looks like Mike.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
I dressed him up in Link attire, and it looks a lot more like him.
You got a Midna hat thing.
I was pretty pleased to see how much Nintendo nostalgia and stuff they threw in that game. Now I'm even happier that Villagers in Smash. But you're going to get me way off topic now.
Okay, yeah, and then next Monday, we're going to have a Smash Impressions video for Smash Bros. For 3DS. After we see if there's any kind of tournament option or something, we're going to come up with some way to do a weekly matches or something. So look forward to next week's episode. It's going to be, I have a feeling it's going to be a longer episode, and maybe get one or two more people on, to depending on how long you guys are going to be available. I think it's going to be huge. I know
we're all gonna kick the crap out of each other by then, so it'll be.
Derek's
it'll
gonna
be a
really.
good review.
Derek's gonna really want to brag about how many times he's beaten us by Monday. So, I'm getting slightly better, but I'm still. I mean, I'm not. I'd say my skill went from what did I say it was in the Smash discussion. I think I said I was at a 30 or something.
Yeah, you were pretty low.
I think I would say I'm at like a 45, maybe a 50.
You're better than that now. You've gotten a lot better. I'll say that right now. I think you can take Mike.
No.
And I say that.
I can't even
think about how Mike plays.
I can't get 2 KOs against the CPU on it, except for twice I think I did. So with a level 9.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Derek. If you're the top dog, I've been answering every challenge you gave me. So, come on. Now.
Hey, I know it's been a lot of fun. I like that you've been putting it out there. You know, playing against the computer and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I set the bar. I set the last bar. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm waiting for the 4 kills. Where they at, man?
I'll never. I don't see myself ever getting 3 KOs in a 2-minute match against a level 9. I just don't see it happening. I guess if you exploit, because I saw the damage, there's no way you got smashes. So you were definitely. You were definitely using techniques.
Oh, yeah.
Which is almost like fire hopping in my mind, personally. I would call that. Wow! I can hit him with my electric charge and keep him off the edge. Yeah.
Why are you hating on Pikachu, man? Why do you hate on Pikachu?
You know, why don't you just beat somebody the way the game?
So it was fun.
It's like if I could get good at that exploit, I could probably get 3 or 4 KOs too. So.
Okay.
It's an exploit. They'll probably patch it in.
There's no edge guarding when you play against Juice because it's cheating. So keep that in mind.
Okay, that's not cheating, man.
That's just a dirty tactic. I wouldn't even try it, but I actually started trying it with the Link and his bow, and I mean, you definitely can get an extra KO doing that stuff. So.
Well, I'm definitely smash attacking him off the side. It's just I'm not like.
But you had the 4 KOs and it was only 360 damage or something total. So.
Which was still impressive. I mean, it was an impressive feat.
Yeah. I've had almost 300 on a opponent and had 1 KO. So I had him up to like 162 and I was hitting him and he just wouldn't go off the stage. So I just don't have the skills. But
the key is hitting them so far to the right that even when they recover, they can't.
That's what I'm doing. Yep, exactly, Mike. Yep.
Pikachu can almost recover from any damn thing with that charge over.
You can literally be on the bottom of the screen with Villager, and you can go back up.
If you have a projectile, you can take his balloons out.
Yeah.
But then he can use the rockets. So Villager sucks. But anyway, guys, I've been going on long enough. We talk about Smash for next week. Tune in for all. We got 5 viewers left. Most people have left. But anyone watching this on the replay, if you made it this far, tune in next Monday. We're going to have a lot of Smash discussions going on. A lot of trash talking, apparently, is going to be happening. So I guess we'll just call it, No need for... We got almost an hour and a half, so we're just going to end this video. Thanks, you guys, for watching. It's been great talking with you guys again. Look forward to next week, our Smash discussion. And then in any future games after that. So we'll see you guys on the next video.